New York Congresswoman and member of the Northern Border Security Caucus, Claudia Tenney. So this bill, Congresswoman, provides about, what, $4.5 trillion to extend the president's tax cuts, about $2 trillion in spending cuts, and raises the debt ceiling by $4 trillion. It's a lot of zeros there. So now it heads to the Senate. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a framework. So it's actually all those things aren't specifically set forth. They're top line numbers on what we think we should do in the House. It will go to the Senate, and we'll see what the Senate actually does and sends back to us. So it's the beginning of the negotiation process. But it was really important that we got this off the ground because we made promises, the president made promises, and we want to deliver on those promises. And one of the most important things we need to do as a member of the Ways and Means Committee is that we need to continue the Trump tax cuts. They provided incredible growth to our economies, even in upstate New York, where I live. Something like 95% of the people in my district got a tax cut. If these were to expire, you would see an immediate 4.5 or 4.6 trillion in tax increases to middle and lower income taxpayers. The Democrats keep lying and saying it's all about the wealthy, but it's really all about the small businesses and the small businesses that are in my communities, which drive our economy. And that's what President Trump did with the tax cuts. That's really important. It's also about making sure that we implement the cuts and the substantive cuts we need to make to government, making some of the things that happened under DOGE permanent and eliminating the fraud, abuse, and waste that we see. And also, importantly, making sure we unleash America's energy. That was something that was shut down during the Biden administration. It's going to be critically important to our growth, to bringing back America on the world stage economically and in terms of security, because so many of our adversaries and enemies have used the economy and energy to actually leverage us and put us in a more vulnerable position. These are all critical components of everything that we need to do to implement Trump's aggressive growth agenda.
And you mentioned being from upstate New York, and we know that Border Czar Tom Homan is scheduled to speak in front of the Northern Border Security Caucus later today. We've seen ICE already begin to ramp up deportations. We've also seen crossings drastically decline at the southern border as well. What do you want to hear from him today about the northern border?
Well, we are so excited to see Tom Homan. He actually hails from my district. He's a native of Jefferson County, way up in the northern border area. My district runs from St. Lawrence Seaway all the way to the Niagara River. I have almost all of the northern border in New York State, and we created the Northern Border Security Caucus after realizing when I went to the northern border and met with border agents and realized we have something like 90% of the people on the terror watch list coming across the northern border. We have fentanyl, we have human trafficking. Everything that you see on the southern border is coming through on the northern border. A lot of it because of the incentives provided by bad policy from Governor Hochul, former Governor Cuomo, the New York State Legislature, welcoming, creating sanctuary cities, the green light law, really hurting our communities. And Tom Homan, I'm so excited to have him come. He's going to talk about some of the things he's doing, like fighting this green light law that was put in place by Governor Andrew Cuomo. Also, Pam Bondi, our Attorney General, is cracking down and showing that this green light law is dangerous. What it does is it prohibits police, our local police, from working with ICE agents. How can you do that? We are the New York State is where the largest terrorist attack in our history ever occurred, 9/11. The bipartisan 9/11 Commission said you need to have your police working together. Andrew Cuomo reversed that. Please don't, New York residents, put this guy in as the next governor. Kathy Hochul's bad, but he's equally as bad. Get new leadership in New York City. That's just I just worry all the bad policies that came from Cuomo are extended by Hochul. Both of them are bad. Don't vote any of them in again, please. But this is why it's so important to see Tom Homan. He's cracking down on this. He's encouraging county officials to implement what we call 287G. That allows local officials to work with ICE. Letitia James, our corrupt attorney general who should be disbarred, has actually threatened county governments. If you implement 287G, I'm going to come after you. And we know that she loves to use lawfare and she loves to abuse her power. So these are all things that are really exciting that are going to be happening today. We're going to talk about with Tom Homan, who's been doing an amazing job.
So it's safe to say in 15 seconds, Congresswoman, you do not support Cuomo for mayor of New York City.
Absolutely not. I mean, let's not make this mistake again.
All right. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, it's always great to see you.
Information. Truth is freedom. is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.